We're very proud that the work you will hear tonight is so various, that the voices are so different from one another, and in particular that these differences challenge and open one another, allowing each voice and style to deepen and expand. Each of these word world readings is a real expression of the community of the MFA program here at CCA, and we also look forward with pleasure and great confidence to the joy we will feel when we pull these writers' books off the shelves in the future, and we're very, very proud of them. Each reader tonight will introduce the following reader, and it's my pleasure to introduce Nick Johnson with an introduction written by about 20 people. It looks like Luisa Leja, Aaron Francisco, Ria Mukherjee, Connor Malley, and Daniel Ishofsky. So, yeah, okay, so this is a very well-crafted intro. Nick stitches the world's heartbreak with his pen and blankets us in our beautiful mess. Yeah, that's happened to me reading his poems. I've definitely been blanketed in my beautiful mess. His poetry exudes an almost culpable mood at times, but it is not a feeling made to tear us down or push us away, but rather to encourage us all to do better than we are now. He questions with purposed frenzy, frills, pink colors, indulgent whims, and small-minded paradigms that colonize our world. These, however, are only questioned in his poems, as he quite fancies wearing pink and indulging in all sorts of hedonistic endeavors. His poetry is smooth, endoscopic, wow, surgically and invasively brave, in that these words, those shimmering words search painstakingly so for even so much as faint glimmers of irrefutable hope, warmth, and tenderness. And when he finds them, as he so often does, we are moved, we are shaken. In the time he spends away from planning perfection, Nick Johnson embraces the chaotic ways in which we interact with life when we step down from our ivory towers, and in all likelihood, he will end up ruling a small island nation. So be nice to him, and maybe he'll put you in his cabinet. Please welcome Nick Johnson.
Thank you. I think that's fine. Can you guys hear me in the back? So I'd like to start with a few thank yous. I'd like to thank my thesis committee, Joseph, also Zach and Opal. I'd like to thank also my extended thesis committee, Claire Chafee and Rebecca Bloyd. Thank you all for your continued support and encouragement and your words and your work. So thank you. I'd also like to thank some of the fine students that I've had the privilege of working with, Aaron Francisco, Connor Malley, Daniel, Luisa Leja, Ray Thomas, Bert Ritchie. Your work has inspired me, and I think I'm a better writer because of it. So I'd like to thank you guys too. And so we'll start with some poetry. Taxonomy. And people are always, and they look so, as if there was a meaning to, a reason for. Flowers are also like this. Not that they grow, or live, or die, but that they are desired. And this desire leads to death. But when I say death, I mean beauty. And when I say beauty, I mean the beginning. And when I say the beginning, it should sound as if it's coming to a conclusion. So the next poem, it's actually a series of poems that I'm working on called Jazzphorisms, which are jazzy aphorisms. And this is one of them, and I'm going to weave those throughout this reading. So, Jazzphorism, a human touch. And nimble fingers to knit these knots, and not for naught, for every noose needs a nape, or is it every nape needs a noose? Either way, a neck is a nuisance. Grandpa's pockets. Summers I spent perched on your lap, and sometimes you'd allow me a search. I'd line my findings along the table, thimble, coins, a button or two, a peach pit from last spring, to keep my fingers busy now that the work's dried up. You said days were no longer adding up, but carving away. Soon the wind will play me like a flute. You never said what it would sound like. I imagined it'd be like falling snow, so soft I wouldn't hear. When the hospital took your pants, they gave you a gown, a gusty room. We visited every day. I sat close, listened as adults made decisions. When it was time, they placed me in the hallway, in that cracked vinyl chair, crying, my hands fiddling, the thimble, coins, peach pit, buttons, filling my pockets with you. Jazzphorism. Slide this in your coat sleeve. Only the slyest fox eats every night, and the brightest bird's always gonna taste the toughest, so slip a song inside a song so they'll savor it 7 days from Sunday. And the next series, I have 2 poems from the Manhattan Project, and this series is about the proposed Islamic Center close to the Ground Zero site, and I think this has sort of caused just a rampant spread of xenophobia throughout the nation, and sort of spills into immigration and the Arizona laws and those things, so you'll see that, I guess. The Manhattan Project. I'm watching a video, the protest in Lower Manhattan, a sea of poster boards stapled to wooden posts. Islam is an ideology, a false religion of hate, and I am smelling burnt oak crucifixes, and I can't hear the old man dressed up in the Confederate flag button down, but he is saying boy, he is saying nigger, and the crowd chants no mosque, but I swear sometimes they slip into a no mas, no mas, no mas mexicanos. We're taking back America. We're doing equations. Let X be Pearl Harbor and Y 9/11, and the solution is internment camps, not cultural centers, not on my son's grave. The Manhattan Project. You talk to the wall when the light is just so, and in the porous concrete you see her face. I am a rock in their river. You recite this to her. Each day your voice sounding less and less like your own. My bits lining the banks. Don't turn your eyes when they kill me. And now you're not sure if the words are yours, but they comfort you. Hooded and strapped down, water pouring in, words spilling out. Later in your cell, you'll rub your hand along the wall saying, I am a rock in their river, trying to forget how flesh feels. Jazzphorism. Turn your lights down low. We gotta be economic with our affection. Love could break out, might kink up, conk out, terrorize your tortoiseshell. Be afraid of the voodoo you don't do in a monk's mood minute. What's rare is precious, precious, so let's keep it few and far between these sheets. Undressing the evening for Argy. I'm folding the night into origami, a nightingale. Please breathe into it. Renounce the whiteness of what's left. Let me sketch us as 2 stick figures. Let them say, having lost you to the night, I've darkened you. And the final poem that I'll read, never read this in public before, so this will be the first time. I sort of saved it for this moment. It is a dedication to the memory of my late mother. So here it goes. It's called The Front Seat for My Mother. When I was 14, they put me in the front seat of an ambulance. Some things a child, they called me a child. Some things a child shouldn't see, kept away like God, confined to the spaces between pages, viewing the world but not in it, never able to do anything anyone can point to with any degree of certainty. Some things should be left to mystery, to magic, a pinch of prestidigitation, and voila, now you see, now you don't. Magic, dark magic. Wait, what kind of games are we playing here? It's not your turn. They put me in the front seat, her in the back. She could have lived. Could she have lived? She could have stayed. Could she have stayed? In my arms, even if she couldn't, my arms. They put me in the front seat, her in the back with a stranger. That chilled steel box, that unshaven man hunched over, offering her a blank expression. They put me in the front seat. I was thinking, in the blaring quietude of a silent siren, I was thinking, waiting patiently at a red light, I was thinking, things must not be too serious. I was waiting. They drew straws to determine who would tell me, but mine was the shortest. Mine was non-existent. I lost. They let me see her. They let me see her with tube tentacles. They let me see her. I saw her, but it wasn't her. It wasn't her. Waiting, so much waiting. Why is there so much waiting in death? I'm always expecting an arrival. I'm looking on streets you've never walked, in faces I find. I'm listening for your voice in the rain. I have a tape of your voice. I'm afraid to listen, afraid I won't recognize. I'm listening. Your voice, the rain. I'm listening. Your voice, the rain. I'm listening. I'm losing you all over again. Memories fading, rain. I'm listening. I dream you. Not often, but I dream you. I can't catch you, but I dream you. And each night after, I eat the same meal, get in bed the same time, in the same position, looking, expecting an arrival. They put a man on the moon, but I don't want the moon. I want a device to record and play back these dreams. I don't mind eating the same meal, getting in bed the same time, in the same position, but you're not there in the only place we can meet. I don't know why you keep falling like rain. I'm listening. Thank you.